r/ask Reddit. Who's a celebrity everyone loves except for you and why? Beyonce. Why is she the ducking queen? I literally don't get it. Because she has manifested being a leader of all things black. Over the years, she has reinvented herself as someone who is full of class, elegance, curator of black arts, and a queen to all that choose to blindly follow her. I for one just think she is a hypocrite. The things she has spewed in the past, not forgetting all the times in DC where she stood in the middle, sang the most lines, yay cause she wrote the songs, had the best costumes, cause Mama Knowles made their outfits, all cause Daddy was the manager. It was merely just her band and the girls were there to make her look good. She did LaToya, Latavia and Farrah dirty by kicking them off the group. Everyone now keeps talking about how her dad was the one that did all that and she was just poor old innocent Beyonce. She has time and time again plagiarized work from other artists and make it seem like her own. She has bleached her hair, skin and yet goes on about how black she is and how she only has black dancers and black performers etc etc. She is now more racist than ever all because it suits her narrative now. I remember watching her doc and how she saw this African dudes on YouTube doing this dance so she sent her crew to go find these guys. They flew to her and helped choreograph her dance for Run the World and once it was done, she just hugged them and off they went back to poverty. You could just see the look in those dudes' faces like shit. Can I just stay here? Do I have to go back to not having running water? That was actually heartbreaking to watch. Edit. Braces self for downvotes from the Bayhive. I was going to say the same thing about being a black female and representing that but at the same time whitening her skin and bleaching her hair and editing her photos to make herself and her thighs look thinner and all of that. I'm with you, that's a bit hypocritical. A lot. Oprah. Why do you all love her? Why? Because decades ago, she was the only woman on daytime talk shows. She wasn't Donahue and her show wasn't a soap opera, literally or figuratively. She talked about things women cared about and treated her audience respectfully. I like her for what she was, not the proof that billionaires are out of touch that she's become. Come on now, she hit the outrage button as much as the rest of them. They just lost their shows and she pivoted to taupe content instead of freak babies of clown country. Drake. He's a pedo perv. I'm just so baffled that dude still has a career after Millie Bobby Brown literally admitting to him trying to get her to text him at 4 am hang out with him. Two separate instances. What 30-year-old man asks a 15-year-old girl to hang out with him who's not a family member? Edit. I suppose this is my bad, but I meant for texting her at 4 am and hanging out as two separate phrases. Meaning, he texts her very early in the morning, as well as texting her to hang out. For the life of me, I cannot find a video of her going on about him texting her at like 4 in the morning. She says this verbatim, and if anyone could find the link, I'd appreciate it. I didn't know that part. That's disgusting. Gal Gadot can't act. Still annoyed about the Imagine fiasco. When you're that good looking everyone tells you your cringe is endearing. Reminds me of Jon Hamm's character on 30 Rock. Priyanka Chopra. She would do all those fairness cream ads where she goes from charcoal black to snow white in 2 weeks. And now after coming to the USA everyone shows her as a part of the Dark is Beautiful movement although she has multiple advertisements that indicate she thinks dark is not beautiful. I have friends in India who say they hated themselves for their dark skin due to all these advertisements and they used to look up how to get whiter skin videos on YouTube for hours. Priyanka C. Hopper is a hypocrite and no one can change my mind. Her bit on the Jonas Brothers roast was hard to watch. All her jokes were about how she was so much older than Mick, how much more famous she was, and how she could be his babysitter. Uncomfortable. In fairness, she didn't write those jokes. However, it's telling she didn't recognize the cringe and or advocate for better material. A lot of these comments are just celebrities that are commonly hated to be honest. As with all Ask Reddit threads. Unpopular opinion is the cringiest one there is. I think black gay people should have rights or am I the a-hole? That can be cringy too. Am I the a-hole for divorcing my husband who cheated on me and abused the kids? Ducking Steve Harvey. I ducking hate Steve Harvey. Everything about him annoys me. Edit 10 days later. I'm fairly certain this is the most upvoted comment I've ever had. And it's about hating Steve Harvey. Really makes my day. We asked 100 million. Name one part of your body that's bigger now than when you were a teenager. Your penis. Oh, we go into HEL now. Steve Harvey. We asked 100 people. What is the male reproductive organ? Contestant. The penis. AY. Ha. Audience erupts into laughter. Steve Harvey grabs onto podium to support himself. Laughter gets even louder. Oh lordy. One man goes into cardiac arrest and many others begin vomiting profusely from laughing too hard. SH. You people need help. The earth shatters and Satan rises from the underworld to claim unworthy souls. The universe begins rapidly closing in on itself. Spurting on a weary voice. Survey says. The board shows 100 for penis. Harvey is able to get off one more shock look before existence as we know it comes to an end. He's probably old news at this point, but Channing Tatum. Someone here said something like Channing Tatum looks like he doesn't know how to read. After reading that, I did a search for his face, took a good look at it, then ducking laughed myself into tears. Honestly, it was the movie where he was the space dog guy and then everyone was like, holy shit. Channing Tatum actually is a golden retriever. He's cute and not very smart, but he's just super happy to be here even if he's not super sure where he is. He would absolutely fetch a ball and have a great time. God damn, this is the most accurate description of that MF I've ever read. Any celebrity that said we're in this together during the start of the pandemic. No, you live in a ducking mansion while the rest of us actually suffer the consequences of the pandemic. We're in the same boat. No, you a-holes. We're in the same storm. However, you all have yachts and not a care in the world, while some of us are desperately clinging to pool noodles. Duck you. You got a pool noodle? Ducking Jimmy Fallon. I couldn't stand him on SNL. Always laughing in literally every scene he's ever in. And it's even worse on his own show. I think Bill Hader breaks character and laughs in his own skits more than Jimmy did. That's not really the problem. The difference is Bill is funny. I was ready to fight and defend my boy Hader. Elon Musk. The dude is just the front man of science. His engineers get no credit and the dude flaunts around like an idiot. He is smart. Don't get me wrong. But he does it in the wrong ways. And I have a belief that if you tell someone they're the smartest for so long they lost the passion to continue to learn and stop being the smartest. So yeah, dude is just the lead singer of what his team does. I don't know how people hate the Big Bang Theory TV show and then love Elon Musk. He's the real life encapsulation of that show. I don't know how anyone fell for his shit. Jason Momoa. He came into the bar I worked at and acted super douchey with this very obnoxious "yes, it's me, aren't you grateful to be in my presence" attitude. He was given tons of free drinks and special service by the owner who is a huge celebrity-ass kisser, and then he stiffed the entire staff and didn't tip a dime. We spent hours working for him, all for nothing in return. He is ruined for me now. I had been a big God fan and he was one of my celebrity crushes, so it was extra disappointing when this happened. I never understand this. People with the most money get all their shit for free. That's how it works. More money and fame you have, cheaper your life gets. It's expensive to be poor. Sorts by controversial. This is the way. All of the Adam Levine and Jimmy Fallon comments don't count. Unpopular opinion. Adolf Hitler. I don't know why. I just dislike him. Sorry for my controversial take. Ryan Seacrest. I don't get it and I just don't like him at all. Hi, I'm a Ryan Seacrest type, and I'm some lady. Remember that video of Britney Spears realizing that he isn't gay? Kevin Hart. Can't stand his need to scream his lines in a childlike nasally voice. His serious movie that he made recently was terrible though. Billie Eilish. Her music is just kind of meh, but I'm tired of everyone acting like she's changed music forever. She's way overhyped for someone who is just Lord too. I have nothing against her, but I can't understand her music without subtitles. She's the pop industry's version of mumble rapping. Kanye and Drake. Kanye is such an obnoxious narcissistic duck and Drake grooms young girls. Yes, universally beloved Kanye. Not like he's literally the most controversial figure in pop culture RN. Yeah, he hasn't been even close to a beloved figure in ages. People just think his absurdity is funny to watch from afar. That Hitler guy was a real jerk. Don't know why Germans voted for him. The more I hear about that guy, the more I don't care for him. He gave good speeches. Vin Diesel, he is so boring. Every single movie he plays the same type of character. Same tone. Same everything. There is no range. No diversity. Watching him act is fun the first few times. But then after that I feel like I need a change of pace and would rather watch paint dry, as it would give me more variety. The only different role that man ever played was as a tree whose only line is, "I am Groot." The fact that you didn't even bother to spell his name correctly. Me misspelling his name at least gives him more variety than his acting ever has. Jennifer Lopez can't sing, can barely act, and uses men to get attention and disposes of them like nothing. She fired some staff for singing that South Park song on sets with her edit. People want the song. https://www.google.com URL SAR equals T and source equals web and RCT equals J and URL equals %23 and ved equals 2RUKEWJ61MT4 or 2RVKO Smogate Q8 TV6 back G and USG equals AOV40 VTJZWXRN8ZFOD4XBU the 2nd of November. Taco. Tyra Banks. What is that woman on and how do I avoid it like the plague? Her Tyra episode on fat phobia was both hilarious and enraging. She puts on a fat suit with the facial prosthetics and everything, then goes on blind dates with guys. During the date she straight up asks these men that she has literally just met, "Is it awkward for you that I'm so fat, beach?" Now it is. The guys play it off nicely and give her a polite, "No, I don't care about that," and basically try to change the subject. All the while, she's overlaying these recaps with her own narration and dramatic music, saying stuff like, "I could tell my weight was making him uncomfortable." The icing on the cake though, was how she ended the episode. Tyra's on stage, back in her normal thin and pretty self, and she brings out two actual fat women, sits in between both of them, and cries about how hard that was for her. Her direct quote was, "It must be so hard for you because I can't take that fat off, and you can't." And these ladies are just sitting there patting her on the back trying to comfort her while she sobs about having to look fat on blind dates that she set up on purpose to harass men about her fake weight, ducking TV gold. Tyra is hilariously self-centered, like an America's Next Top Model. Whenever the girls had any issues, she always linked it back to a struggle she had to overcome. One girl almost got hypothermia because she was doing a photo shoot in a freezing cold pool, and Tyra talked about how she used to do swimsuit shoots in winter and how she persevered. Most of the celebrities. I think Lizzo counts. At least it feels like there was a moment everyone was just in love with her. The songs I've heard from her are fine, but she's praised Chris Brown a little too much to be likable. Edit. It seems like more people hate her for her weight than for calling a woman beater her favorite person in the world. Alright then. Thank you. There are a few Lizzo songs I love, but once she called Chris Brown her favorite person I lost all respect for her. Beyonce. I saw a picture of her fully clothed, in a jacuzzi, pouring a $20,000 bottle of champagne into the water. I don't know, but something about the frozen look on her face as she threw away money that could have paid for someone's operation or something. It just pissed me off. Adam Levine, he just seems like an arrogant and condescending person. People like Adam Levine? Nicki Minaj. Her rap style stays the same, shit is whack and I don't FW her personality. Nicki Minaj. Let's go to the beach. Ryan Reynolds seems to play the same character in every movie, himself. He actually has range. There are lots of older movies he excels in. Everyone keeps hiring him to play himself. It's selling lately so he takes advantage. I enjoyed Deadpool on my own and Free Guy with my son, but it was like watching the same film without the adult rating. If I see he's in a film, I'd expect to be watching the same thing again. Small doses is probably what I'm getting at. Seems a nice chap though, so no hate. I know I'll get so flamed for this, but Steve Irwin, I don't hate him and he did seem like a nice guy, but he certainly wasn't an animal lover, and it annoys me how he's often the go-to guy when someone needs an example of a famous one. He ate animals, used them for entertainment, and quite often harassed wild animals just minding their own business in their natural habitat. That's how he died. Of course he didn't deserve it. And again, he seemed like a nice guy and wonderful father, but he wasn't the animal lover the world likes to think he is. It says it all that the Irwin-owned facility is a zoo and not a sanctuary. Well, your opinion is massively ill-informed. Zooey Deschanel. She always seems super bored and tired in her scenes. She has no acting range. She's quirky for the first movie, then you realize she has a dull personality. What is everybody seeing that I'm not? New Girl changed my perspective on her. Not a bad show. Edit. Change not change edit 2. Any fans of New Girl should check out their new podcast on Spotify. Emo Jess is a supporting character. The show is about Nick, Schmidt, Wilson, and Coach. Edit. My goodness, I get it, his name is Winston. I know. It was late, I was sleepy. I mistyped. Forgive me. Ariana Grande. I swear to God I want to love her as much as most 20-something-year-olds do. I've bopped to so many of her songs and thank you. Next single-handedly got me over my high school heartbreak. But whenever I see her on TV or in an interview, her voice, appearance, attitude feels like a new performance every time. IDK, it's borderline uncomfortable to watch. I do feel the same, although I am beyond impressed by her response to the terrorist suicide bombing at her concert in Manchester. 2 weeks later she did a benefit concert to support the victims. Got a lot of very famous performers to perform. Apparently she was the main coordinator for the event, calling in favors and getting as many of her famous friends to attend. Gave free tickets to anyone who attended the original concert and ended up raising £17 million for the victims and their families. 2 weeks after her concert terrorist attack, in which over 1,000 people were injured and 22 died, she went up, performed again and did an awful lot to help the victims. Way more that a lot of other people would have done. So much so that the city of Manchester named her an honorary citizen. I may not like her very much, but I have a lot of respect for her after that. I barely knew who she was at the time, but her response to that horrible event was impressive. I would have left Britain and never come back out of fear. Pete Davidson. Enough said. P.S. This isn't Kanye's burner account. That's exactly what Kanye's burner account would say. Raymond. Ray Romano to be more specific. He's a stuck-up ass that thinks he is the foremost expert in comedy, and anything that deviates from what he considers comedy is wrong. You don't get to decide what people are allowed to find funny, Ray. Maybe if you were a little more flexible about how other people approach humor, you'd still be relevant to pompous. Gatekeeping Titus. This feels personal. LOL. I think Ray Romano ducked this man's wife. Anna Kendrick. Pushes the so quirky thing a little too much for me. No one understood the ducking question. Who is a celebrity everyone loves except you? A. James Corden, Chris Brown, Jimmy Fallon, etc. They are disliked by most people, not loved. Edit. For those who love to nitpick on my comment, I based my comment on the answers on this thread and combined those with the people with the most hate threads I saw about them on Reddit. I don't give a flying duck about any celebrity. I don't see them as idols. And of course I am not talking about the whole world here. There is no way I can know about every person's taste. My point was these 3 answers I saw in this thread were definitely not celebrities that everyone loves. Oprah. She doesn't seem very genuine or like she has good intentions. Who's a celebrity everyone loves except for you and why? People continue to vote to the top answers of people who are largely controversial and have a large following of haters as well as fans, thus proving they are not loved by everyone, and therefore, poor answers. I don't think this counts, but I don't like Kardashians, like at all. There's a commercial that Khloe does with her daughter. I literally didn't realize it was her for the first 10 or 15 times until I realized she just bought a new face. I don't trust Mr. Beast. I just know that he's doing some duck shit on the low. Everyone loves him because he is a philanthropist. He gives me the creeps low-key. Probably the first comment to name someone that actually fits the question. Although I do think that's just his personality. He is slightly awkward but has become such a public figure and had to adapt to the fame. Weird Al. He's built his entire career on cringy and moronic ripoffs of other people's work. Chris Pratt. He's a MAGA. Joe Rogan. He's not nearly as smart as all of his fans insist he is. Even he'll admit it. But people listen to everything he says like he's some kind of cult leader. Also his stand-up sucks. Ellen DeGeneres. She's not funny. She's annoying. Her dance shtick is cringe. She's rude to her staff, allegedly, and fosters a toxic work environment, a pathetic interviewer, and an overall not a nice person. Nobody likes Ellen. Leonardo DiCaprio. I do believe he is a great actor, but damn if there isn't something about him that pisses me off. My feelings aren't justified in any way. They are irrational and unexplainable. There is just something about the man that can be a real bummer for me. Edit. Welp, this kinda blew up a bit after I fell asleep. Thanks for the awards and the comments, everyone. I saw someone say that Don't Look Up demonstrated he was a great actor because he had to play someone with an appropriately aged wife. Donald Trump. Cult leader. Domestic terrorist. Russian spy. Traitor. Oh. And I'm not sure what qualifies as a successful business. Edit. Wow. I expected this to get downvoted into the core of the earth. Nice to see I was mistaken. So brave. You came to Reddit and were courageous enough to post about how much you dislike such a popular figure. You/Captain Pra. Truly a hero. Chris Pratt and his whole aura is annoying AF. He tries so hard to seem like a good guy, but it feels off. Like he is emulating how a good person should be. Am I wrong in this? I don't know. I don't like him anymore. Ed Sheeran. His face annoys me. His music annoys me. His little guitar annoys me. I don't get the hate for him on Reddit. He seems like a regular dude to me who is making the most out of being an A-list celebrity. Conscientious. No drama. Very talented. Driven. Professional. Chill guy. I'd have a beer with him. The Rock. Dude's roided out his mind. Same character every ducking movie. Never been offered a movie he's ducking turned down. His tequila sucks. Timothy Chalamet and his little pointy face. Elon Musk. I don't get why everyone thinks he's so great. He constantly announces the next groundbreaking invention and then never actually delivers. For example, the Cybertruck he announced like 2 or 3 years ago, where there was a huge hype. Which I also don't get because a car is ducking ugly and thousands of people paid a pre-order fee. But have you ever actually heard of one being delivered or actually seen one in person? Yeah, me neither. And this isn't just true for the Cybertruck but for many other things as well. Didn't he announce he'll fly to Mars by 2020? Machine Gun Kelly loved his rap music, but now he's just becoming a douchebag. Also Carrie Underwood. I can't deny she is wicked talented, but her interviews are just cringe. Seems so stuck up and full of herself. Jimmy Fallon. He is cringe and seems fake and I can't stand his laugh and his mannerisms and him. Colin Kaepernick. I get it. There's racism in America. That's no secret. What bothers me is that he rescinded his contract with the 49ers, became the face of a Nike campaign and has a line of Nike shoes, reached a $10 million settlement with the NFL, opted out of a workout stage exclusively for him during the regular season, and accused the NFL of running away from the truth, justified violent riots as they erupted across America in the wake of George Floyd's murder, has a net worth of $20 million and Stoddard Leonard has the audacity to claim himself a victim of the system, like he was the same as Rosa Parks, MLK or Malcolm X. The last two literally died for their causes and didn't have billion-dollar corporations sponsoring them. And to top it off, in his documentary series, right off the bat he says that the NFL Combine is the same as a slave auction. His shittiest take ever emo. And by the end of the last episode, he says the day he was hired by the NFL was the best day of his life. That's either him unintentionally saying he'd be content to be a slave, by his own logic, or him pandering to both his followers and the NFL. Can't think of anything else, really. And that's not the only bad take in the documentaries, mind you. In short, I honestly think this guy's one desperate for attention and will use his struggle as a means to aggrandize his own image, not because he actually wants to fight against racism. That's just my opinion, and that's why I don't like him. Comes across more as a con artist than an activist to me. Edit. Some added context to the second paragraph. Edit 2. Thanks for the awards. Really appreciate it. Whoa. You made it to the end, you're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.